Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today I'm going to show you how to make homemade apple cider. Oh yeah, I love homemade cider. It's really easy to do, simple ingredients. If I can do it, you can do it. Before I move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get started. Down below in the description box, you'll find a list of the ingredients and their amounts. So first, what we want to do is you want to take your apples, and I have 11 apples. You can use 11 or 10 to 12 apples. It all depends on how large the apples are. And I have a variety of apples. You can use all of one kind of apple or mix it up. And then I also have 2 oranges. If you don't like any citrus flavor in your cider, you can leave out the oranges. And then I have a cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar. I have some red hots. I have some ground cloves. This is about a tablespoon of red hots, tablespoon of ground cloves or whole cloves, and then some ground nutmeg. This is about a 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg, and then fresh cinnamon sticks. Oh yeah. All right. And so what we're gonna do is I rinsed all my apples, and now I want to cut these and core them. And you can use an apple core if you want. I just core and then get rid of the seeds. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put them in a large stock pot, or I have this really large Dutch oven. Or you could also put these in your crock pot if you want. And these little bits that don't have any seed of the core, you can toss those in there because the core itself is edible. Just don't eat those seeds. And you don't want all these seeds to be soaking in this water for so long. But you can put the core in there if you want, bits of the core. Okay, so I'm going to do that with the apples and then also with the oranges. You can choose to peel them if you want. I never do. I like the peel. Lots of flavor in the peel. And just cut those into wedges and toss those in. All right, so you want to leave about an inch, inch and a half away from the top of your pot. And you might want to chunk them up a little bit. I cut it like the wedges, I cut those in half. Now let's just add some water. And we'll just fill it up near the top of the chunks. And it'll be somewhere between 8 to 10 cups of water. And I am using filtered water because my tap water is gross. And I'm going to just push these down a little bit. And now I'm going to add the spices. Again, this is about a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and you can use like fresh nutmeg and just grate it if you want. And then about a tablespoon of whole cloves. And then the red hots. The red hots are optional. I love adding the red hots because it adds flavor. And then also a little bit of nice reddish color to the cider, which I really like. And then we will add the sugar. Again, that's 1 cup of brown sugar, and you can add that in later if you want, especially if you want to control your sweetness. You can leave out all the sweeteners and then just taste it at the end and then flavor then if you want. And then that way, if you have some people that maybe are diabetic, or you have some people that can't have a certain type of sweetener, you can actually make it to where they can sweeten their own little cup if you want. And then let's put in these cinnamon sticks. Yeah, yummy cinnamon sticks. Okay. Now over to the stovetop we go. Let's set the heat to high, and we will bring this to a boil. And I'm going to put my lid on as well. And once you get it to a boil, I'm going to turn the heat down to medium, and we're just going to let this boil like this for about 45 minutes or so. And I'm just going to put the lid back on. And after about 45 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid. And then I'm going to turn the heat down to in between low and medium low. So right around medium low. And then I'm going to take a potato masher. And I'm just going to start mashing this fruit. And now I'm going to put the lid back on, and then we are going to let this simmer for about 2 hours. it could be a little bit less, about 90 minutes or so. I'm going to take a look, and I'm going to come back in here one more time and just smash this down a little bit. And it is pretty much ready to go. And it'll appear like very runny applesauce. Let's turn the heat off. And now we'll let this cool for about 15 minutes and then move on to the next step. And once it has cooled a little bit, I'm going to remove this lid. And now we can start to strain this. And so I just have a large bowl here. And then I have a strainer. And then I have cheesecloth. And then so I'm going to go in here with the ladle. And we're going to just start straining this. And you'll have to do these in batches, and the size of the batches will depend on how large your strainer is. And then you can take the cheesecloth, and if it's too hot, it'll be really hard to squeeze with your hands. So that's why you want to let it cool down. Otherwise, it's going to be just piping hot against your hands. And then you can also just come in here and just smash it with the back of your ladle to speed the process along. And what's left underneath is your apple cider. It looks so good. And it smells absolutely amazing. And then what I'll do is I'll just take this leftover pulp that's in here and remove it from the cheesecloth. And then do another batch. Sometimes I don't even use the cheesecloth, I just use the strainer, and that does go faster, but the cheesecloth gets it a lot finer, the juice or the cider. And there you go, all the ciders right there. There's some more here in this bowl, and I can strain that out a little bit later as well to get even more cider out of that. So awesome. I'm going to give it a taste. So good. And at this time, you can sweeten it even further with honey, with some more sugar. You can use stevia, things like that, or you can leave it as is and just let each individual person sweeten their own a little bit more. So awesome. Now I am going to serve myself up some of this. Here we go. So awesome. And there you go, homemade apple cider. Really easy to do, a great way to use up a lot of your apples if you have them. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into this some more. Oh yeah.